Okay, so this is I guess a lab tour, and then I'm gonna do a rant about all the garbage that I've been into. So this is my Homer dashboard, and the problem is whenever this thing isn't working, it's on the Mini, right? So whenever it's not working, I have to struggle to find where all my shortcuts are to things, and then I'm testing things, and it helps a lot. So anyways, so I have this Epic server, and then I have this i9. So the i9, I just got it back working because for the Epic server, it has, let's see, it has, so I took off the 4090 and I put it back in the i9. And so I have 5 RTX 5060 Ti 16 gigabytes, right? So there's that. And then in the i9, I have the 4090 back. So the only thing I've really done to this i9, I'm sorry, well, yeah, i9 4090 is I did reduce the power wattage. Where is it? 350. So I don't know if it makes a difference. So my plan is to like put some stuff back on here. I just haven't yet. And then I have 2 mini PCs. So they're both, one has more RAM than the other, but they're kind of my workhorses, I guess. And I've been testing so many different things, and I have so much stuff in a mess right now. That's why I haven't made a video in a little while, because I've just been like overwhelmed with like all this stuff. And whenever something goes wrong, it's a huge pain in the butt, right? Like I have so much different things. Anyways, so I have the Epic, and it has 256 gigabytes of RAM, and it has 32 cores, Epic CPU, right? And then I have this one, the i9, and it's an i9, and it has like 94 gigabytes of RAM, 24 cores. Then these minis, they are both 20 core i9s. They're Minisforum MS01s. And the nice thing about these is I have a 10 gigabit, right? So I think they're not connected to 10 gigabit currently. I actually just rebuilt my rack. I didn't have enough room to fit everything, so I had to get like another rack, and then I attached it, and they're both wall mountable because I don't have like a data center. I just have an office area, right? So that's the 4 things I have. Oh, and here's something new I got. Well, here's 2 new things I got. So I got the DGX 10, right? So it's a MSI's version of the Spark, right? And so and then the other thing I got is this JetKVM, which is freaking awesome. So basically I have this JetKVM little device plugged in so that I have a web page to go to the dashboard of my, I'm just going to call this an NVIDIA Spark, but it's not, it's the MSI version. But this is pretty cool. So I went on here and I put Ollama on it. And so these are what I have on here. So the nice thing about this is this can run a bigger model than any of my other setups. So the Nemotron 3 Super 120B, it loads it up with like 96 gigabytes of RAM, and it runs okay. Now it's not super fast. Now I'm going to do another video, or like another 10, I guess. But I'm going to do a video of a comparison between the 5, what is it, 4090s? I mean 4060s, 5060 Ti's, and the 4090 and the NVIDIA Spark, right? So, and here's one thing that's kind of interesting about the Spark, right? It's just Ubuntu. I'm sorry, yeah, Ubuntu Linux, right? It's not, I was thinking that it was going to be, now I knew it was running a version of Ubuntu, but I thought that it was going to be like something special, but it's really just the same everything, right? Like it's not I mean, it does have proprietary, I guess, stuff, and it has this little firmware updater and whatnot. But other than that, it's just a regular Ubuntu, and it actually has Docker already installed, right? So my issue is is I don't want to get too much junk on here, right? Because with Proxmox, I have all these different things where, you know, I can load up all these, I could back them up to the NAS, I could do all these different things. But with this, it's running on this machine and it's not virtualized, and I don't want to virtualize it because it just I can't imagine how it would work out well, right? But anyways, it has Docker on it. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do that. I actually got I was missing cables because my Epic needed two 1,000 watt power supplies to run. I mean, I'm sure it's overkill, but it's just something I had left over from mining hardware, GPU mining. So I ordered, I couldn't find the motherboard cable because I have these other 1,000 watt power supplies, and so I couldn't hook this back up. So finally it came in from eBay on a slow boat from China, and now I have this back up and working, and I actually have a rack case where it sits into the rack. So it's pretty cool. And then I put the 4090 back on it. So basically I'm going to be using this one for anything that I want to run super fast, right? Like small models, fast models. I took Ollama off because, like I had said in a previous video, whenever you grow a container, it's easy to grow it, but it's tough to shrink it. And so my local storage on here, I have a 2 terabyte NVMe. So if I grow it too big, then I can't make it smaller. So I basically have to reinstall Ollama back on here, which isn't hard. And you could see I have nothing like running right now. Most of these I moved over to the Epic, but I'm trying to think of some way to like juggle everything. So anyways, I'll go through some of the things that I have and use. Like, I guess main thing is I have AdGuard, right? So I have it on 2 different servers. So I have AdGuard right here, and you can see I took the image from Mini 2 and put it on here. But so I have AdGuard there, and then on this Mini I have it again right there. So actually this one came from a different one too, because this one came off i9. But one of the advantages of having 2 AdGuards is that if I'm rebooting one of these Proxmox hosts, then I don't lose internet because, you know, everything goes through AdGuard. But you could see, so I have 2 AdGuards, and then you can see like they're both actually doing stuff. So I have like, so one of them is at 2 and the other one is at 3. And so I tell my UniFi network router to use that as the gateway, right? Or the DNS servers. So it works really nice. I mean, it blocks so much junk, right? So, and then whenever something isn't working, I just have to come in and look at the block list, and then I can allow it or unblock it. But this is very handy though, the AdGuard. So that's, I guess that's the first thing. And then I have, let's see, where do I start? So then I have, here's all my Proxmox servers. I just got this JetKVM and the Spark like 2 days ago. So I have really not had a lot I haven't done much on it except for install Ollama. And I tried LM Studio, but because it was supposed to be faster than Ollama on this, but I haven't really used LM Studio very much, and it just seemed complicated. Like, I did install it, I did get it working, but I just wasn't happy with it. So I went back to, and Ollama is something that I use a lot. So I just installed Ollama directly, and not even in Docker, right? So, because I figure I'm just going to use it like as that thinking model, right? And it does have this cool dashboard, and there is a way that I can, like, they do sell it with a way to link it through NVSync or something, which I think is something that you can install on Linux, Mac, or Windows, and have this access to this machine on a different machine. But I got this JetKVM, which is like $100 on Amazon. I mean, I've been looking at it for a while, but actually I've bought 3 of these now because, well, I'll get into them in another video because I don't want to make this one like hours long. Anyways, so eventually I'm going to do a comparison, and I'm getting off track. But anyway, so I have Ollama, and a lot of these I need to update because these aren't turned on, or either they're not pointing in the right spot. Then I have my website, right? So it's running, and that's another problem, is whenever my network goes down, so does my website, right? So then I have this, that when GitHub was giving me all those problems, I installed that. This, what is this? Oh, I was thinking of making like a chat room for just anybody for like support. Not that I would support everyone, just that, you know, people could use it, and then my AI could go through and ban people if they're getting unruly or whatever. But that's kind of, I don't know. It doesn't seem like that would be very popular. I mean, if you think that would be popular, then let me know. I could turn it on, because several people in my comments want to ask me something or tell me something, and I guess this would be an easier way to do that. But haven't really. I mean, I've got so many things going on right now. I've just been a wreck. So I guess that's. I mean, it's not really much of a lab tour, but that's pretty much everything. And I'm kind of in the middle of moving all these different things around, and I have some videos that I want to do. But anyways, one other thing. So that's pretty much the lab tour. And so here's kind of the AI stuff, right? So I've been struggling with OpenClaw. I thought that adding True Recall, the thing I put together, would work. It does work well, but OpenClaw just doesn't manage the memory well. And so every time I start chatting with it, the context grows exponentially until it just gets all sorts of squirrely, and it just doesn't obey my instructions. So one of the things I decided to do was I wanted to try out some other ones and see if maybe there's something better, or, you know, more fun, or something cleaner that works better. And then the other thing that I kind of got into is Mem0. Mem0 is doing a very similar thing to what I wanted to do, and there's actually an OpenClaw plugin for Mem0, and even though it's a paid service, they fall in line with my goal. Is they have a local install to where you can have everything working locally for free and use Mem0 and Qdrant. So that's something I've been kind of messing around with. So I'll come out with, if I get all that working with Mem0, I'll do like a detailed install for OpenClaw, and I'll put that out. But then OpenJarvis, so just to give you kind of a brief, so I installed OpenJarvis, which I do like because this is like based off, all of these are very similar to OpenClaw, and I guess I might do like an individual video on each one, but they're very similar. And I like OpenJarvis the best. ZeroClaw is okay, but they don't seem to have the same capabilities of OpenClaw. And one of the things I was considering, so let me just tell you how I got these installed and why I haven't done a video on it now. So I mentioned before in some of my videos, I created these Debian instances with SSH access. And so I now have 10, and sometimes I'll forget what's on what, but I'll tell OpenClaw, say, okay, I want to install, you know, OpenJarvis on Deb3. Go install it on Deb3, and it'll beat around, it'll mess up, it'll say, oh, I didn't do that, oh, I copied the, I mean, but eventually it gets it installed, and then I'll have to go in there and clean it up a little bit or something like that. But anyways, I got these working, and I've had to mess manually with both of these to get them working right. And there is another one that doesn't work in, so let me switch to that. Well, I'm not going to switch to it right now. Anyways, in Telegram, I'm doing Nanobot. I liked Nanobot because it's all done in Python, and it's stripped down, and it seems to have similar capabilities to OpenClaw. And being that it's Python, that's the language that I'm most familiar with, and also the AI, the OpenClaw can write good Python, and then I have the sub agents go and validate stuff. Although my OpenClaw right now is just a mess. Like I've been having all kinds of problems, and I have a bunch of backups. Like, so if you look at like backups, like I have so many backups, but it's like crap. I don't know that I want to go to one of these to kind of start over. And I'm thinking what I'm considering doing is having OpenClaw install OpenClaw in one of these Debian containers and stripping it down and letting me kind of start from a scratch, right? Because it's just like the MD files and everything's just such a mess right now. I don't know if anybody has any comments or thoughts in the let me know, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. But I do have this Spark that was cost a freaking fortune. And again, it's the MSI Edge Expert is what I got. And if I would recommend it at this point, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, for me, I would say yes, but for just average Joe, I don't know. I mean, it is nice because it could run these models, but I really need to spend some more time with it and get more familiar with it. But the biggest surprise to me was that it's just running Ubuntu and then has the drivers for everything else. So, and it is ARM 64, which is very strange, but I'm hoping that they provide some updates. I will do some speed comparisons between the three, but I think, as everyone is probably aware, the Spark is not that fast. The benefit of the Spark is that you can like pair them up and run larger models, and that doing like multi-sessions, it works better than some of the other stuff. But I'm going to test all that and I'll compare it. But right now, with the OpenClaw, I've been having so many problems with it. Just as soon as I chat like 3 times, the context gets blown up and then it does the compaction. And it's just, I don't know. I'm struggling with that. Anyways, I just wanted to provide an update and, setting this i9 back up and getting everything so I was going to do a lab tour. I've been waiting to get this set up before I did it. So, but that's pretty much everything. If you have any questions or want to know about when I'm going to do a certain video, just let me know. I did mention before I'm going to do some open web UI videos, but I'm trying to figure out like something special, right? Because there's so many videos, and I have to still complain about YouTube. And if you made it this far, I appreciate it. But the thing about YouTube, good grief, there's so much garbage out there. And like, it's such a pain to navigate with the ridiculous faces, with the people that just do these. You're searching for a video and it looks like something interesting and like they're going to show you how to set something up. But then it turns out to be some, clickbait, whatever, and what's funny is I do get several emails to my email about promotional things, which I haven't done any, and I don't intend to, because it doesn't really align with my philosophy, which is free and local, right? So, I mean, no one's going to pay me to promote something free and local, right? So, but I do get a bunch of emails about promotional things that I just say no thanks or don't respond to. But it is kind of neat because I never really expected that to occur. So anyways, sorry I made this one a little bit longer, but if anyone wants me to go more into detail about one of my setups or how I do things or things like that, like a quick, easy video, just let me know. I do use this it's TrueNAS, the backup for all of them. So that's how I can like mix and match all the different models and backups, right? So I appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, you might be one of 3 people, because I've only had one person comment that they actually made it this far. So thanks for watching. Take care. And hopefully I could get a more detailed install video of something soon. I'm just juggling a lot of different things right now. Thank you. Bye.